Okay, so it's been a couple of minutes. Just check we're in focus. Yes. Okay, so I'm just going to have a look at the thumb here, see what's going on. You can see it started to come up a little bit. So use the flat side. We'll keep this side for the cuticles. I'm using the flat. So just gently push. You'll see there's still a shiny base coat. Oh my god, excuse me. So this, in my opinion, now is the first layer lifted, so I want to re-soak this just to not cause any damage to the nail. Like, some people would just buff this at this stage and you'd have a quick removal. I tend not to want to force it off the nail just to not cause any damage, you know. So let's see. Yeah, so that to me is the base coat. Needing, let's try and get it in focus. So that's the base coat still on the nail. So I'm going to re-soak this. I tend to just dip the cotton back into the acetone, give it a little boost, pop that back on, wrap it in foil. Did I hit record? Yeah, okay. And just wrap it in foil and come back to that one. So again, just do your gentle scraping. It might be worth saying as well, if you're in a very cold room or if you tend to be very cold-handed or just in general are a cold person, removals can tend to take a little bit longer. Acetone likes a little bit of heat just to speed up this process. I don't know if that's any use to you, but there you are. So yeah, it's coming off nicely. We just have some base coat again. So I'll probably do this process on all the nails, come back to the thumb. By that time it should be lifting and I'll start the shaping, then go through each nail. So the reason I'm taking off one foil at a time and not doing them all at the same is that when you take the foil off, the polish dries out again. So when it dries, it becomes hard again and then you won't be able to scrape it off as easily. So you want to just do one at a time. So yeah, these cuticle sticks are great. You can hang on to these. You'll be able to just do some basic manicure with it. They're great for pushing cuticles. You can use them on your toes. I wouldn't hang on to them for too long now, it wouldn't be too hygienic, but they're great if after a shower your cuticles on your feet would be soft, and on your hands as well. Just give them a gentle push. The pointed side is great. Just don't go too hard with it because it can be sore if you're a bit rough with them. So yeah, we're getting a good lift. There's still a little bit of base coat. So if you're a little bit more patient, you'll be able to wrap yours properly and open them properly. It just makes this part a little bit easier. So I've torn it now, so I'll be kind of smooshing it back on rather than doing my fold. But sure, we'll get there now. You don't want to apply too much pressure, and if you find it isn't lifting, it could be a case that you haven't soaked the pad enough. It could also be a case that you've left it on the nail for too long. You don't want to leave it for ages or anything because the acetone is going to evaporate, and when it evaporates the nail is going to dry out again and you're essentially like not at the lifting stage. Then you're back to a hard polish situation. Just going to rewrap this nail. I tore the foil stupidly. Okay, pop that in the bin. So yeah, you want to get that nice point where it's a little bit wet. So just gentle scraping. I wouldn't even call it scraping, you're just kind of helping lift it. Now, do you know, I probably could just buff that off. It's not too much left. I'll just show you what that looks like. I feel it would be okay to buff this at that stage. Now, I know it doesn't look great, and I'm due a manicure as well. My hands are very dry now from all this washing, but yeah, I will show you just buffing. Maybe I'll keep this nail and I'll buff that one just to show you, and with the other ones I'll re-soak just to get everything off. And you can choose what you'd like to do. See, I can feel the acetone is drying out a little bit on these ones. It's not as easy to scrape or help along. Okay, and I'm going to re-soak that one. So I'm actually just going to shove that on, hope for the best. Alright, so, oh fuck's sake, excuse my French. Alright, now back to the thumb. I give this another go and over, just get rid of any of that base coat. So you need a good eye, just have a close look. You'll see it's shiny. You just want to lift any of that shine. And in lifting the shine off at this stage with the acetone, it just saves you having to buff it off. And in buffing you can maybe damage the nail if you aren't too sure what you're doing, or if you're maybe a bit heavy-handed, you can do a little bit of damage at that stage. So I would recommend using the acetone to get it off where you can. But you don't want to be like hacking at your nails. Just help it off. And if you do need to re-soak it, do that. I think the key in getting a good removal is really buffing that shine off the top coat. That just allows you to get down. So if you had 3 coats of colour applied at your appointment as well, you might find it needs a little bit longer than what I have here, which is 2 thin coats. Okay, so I'm happy with the thumb removal there. I'm going to buff that. So I'll just go through them here and make sure I have the base coat off all of them. So yeah, the little bottle of acetone that you got in your kit should do you for a couple of removals as well. So hang on to them. It also works as a nail varnish remover, so you can use it for that. Yeah, so hang on to your kit. The file should last you a long time as well. I'd advise against using the rougher side on your nails. You want to just use the softer side for your natural nails, just so you don't kind of cause any jagged edges. It's great for just smoothing the edge of the nail and shaping them as well. Okay, so she's looking good. I'm gonna pop these in the bin. I'll just give you a look at these. So at this stage, they'll be looking like this. So I'm just going to grab the block buffer. Now go gentle with this, you don't want to be going ham at your nails. You're kind of gently smoothing over. This is going to get rid of any last little bits of base coat. At this point I would advise, if you have any kind of oils, this is what I suggested, that you picked up the daddy oil. This is normally in a manicure, removal manicure, where I would apply just a little drop of oil. So all the polish is more or less gone. You'll see there's a little bit of roughness there. Some of it is just left on the nail as well. Be very gentle here. You don't want to be like hacking at the nail, okay? Really, really, really gentle. I'm hardly putting any pressure on here at all. You don't want to thin out your nail. So you might think the nails look a little bit dry at this stage. There is dust on them. And the base coat and polish remnants will turn white with the acetone, so they might look a little bit scary. Don't worry just yet. I would advise you grab a hand cream though. I think it always helps. And after an acetone removal, you're going to want to wash your hands quite well with the soap as well. So that is them at the moment. Now I'm going to shape the nails. I won't show you the full process, but I'm going to use the smooth side of the file. Oh, that's actually really close up. So that's the rough side I use to remove. You can feel it when you touch it. And then the other side is the smoother side, which I will use on my natural nail. So I'm just going to sharpen up the shape that I already had, I think. So yeah, you just want to go soft, slow movements. You don't want to be going ham with this either. So yeah, I'll continue in that manner across them and just make sure they're all looking nice. I'm kind of going for a soft square at the moment. I might even take them back round. Okay, so I'll continue and just sharpen them up. So yeah, if you want to take this side of your cuticle stick now at this stage, be gentle with this. So this is, I've recently done my cuticles now, so they're not going to be looking too bad, but I imagine you might need to push yours a little bit. So you just gently go around, give them a little push off the nail bed. This is helpful for down those sides. You just want to lift anything out. Any trapped dust or anything like that. If you have a cuticle nippers at home, go easy on it, but you might like to nip the likes of this. Or small nail scissors can be helpful as well. So yeah, I like to push gently back under the cuticle. If it's sore, you're doing it wrong, so just be careful. You don't need to be sore to do this. You're just going to scrape out any of that extra dust along the sides. You just continue in that manner across. So yeah, the key really is just be gentle, and if you do feel that you have product left on the nail, use the acetone rather than the files to get it off. You always want to kind of just be as gentle as possible. Now I can feel I have a little bit more on there. I think that's the nail where I did one soak, was it? I lost track of that one. That feels much better. Okay, so yeah, if you have an oil, even like an olive oil, I think at this stage, just put a tiny dot. Now you don't want to be feeling greasy, obviously. When I'm doing removal in my salon, I always do this. I find it gives a lovely finish. Just smooths over everything. So yeah, I just paint on a little bit of oil. So a really small amount. Then I'm just going to gently buff. So I'll try and make sure I use the same side of the buffer. You can kind of assign one side to each removal. You'll probably get 4 out of this then. So just really gently go back over, take away any of that kind of white look. And then you can just massage it in. helps just gently to lift any of those last remaining bits. Now, it's not the end of the world. There is usually a few little bits left on the nail. You don't want to damage the nail, so I find in some cases it's better just to leave some little bits. And it's really important to moisturize the nail. So again, really, really gentle. I wonder, would coconut oil work as well? I know a lot of people tend to have coconut oil. Okay, so that's me just about done. I'm just going to finish shaping up these guys. And I'm going to repolish these, maybe do a little bit of nail art. So yeah, that's it. I hope that was helpful for you. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye.